Okay, the Sirius star system and Dogon mythology. Yep, somebody asked the question. Okay, so the question is, what's the cosmic connection between the Sirius stars and the ancient Dogon myth? So, and then somebody asked, can you please text the names of the stars? His name is Thomas Lang Cavist 5830. Thomas Lang Cavist 5830. And does Sirius C exist? We talked about that last week. There's a not a binary star system, but a trinity of stars in Sirius A, B, and now C. How did the Dogon know? And special shout outs. Okay. Now, Sirius, okay. Sirius often referred to as the dog star. It's a prominent celestial feature that has captivated human imagination and scientific curiosity for a millennia. Yeah, check this out. This is King Cam Ujumbe Podcast, Ujube's message. And yeah, we're going to get into part two for Sirius C. All right. Don't forget to subscribe for those who are. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, and I'm gonna ask a question. Okay. And don't forget to comment that. All right. So Sirius is located in the constellation of Canis Minor. Sirius is the brightest star in the Earth's night sky. So it is, you can see it in the northern hemisphere. In the west, normally you start seeing Sirius next to Orion in September or October. Okay. Now, it is a binary star system. Sirius consists of two stars, Sirius A, that's a main sequence star, and then Sirius B, which is a faint white dwarf. Okay. And so the brightness in the night sky is due to its intrinsic luminosity and relative proximity to the Earth. So it's very close. It's very close. It's very close. And it's really beautiful at night. All right. So it's a binary star system. According to modern science, they call it binary star system, but we're going to learn something else too about it. Sirius A is a main sequence, is twice as massive as the sun and 25 times more luminous. As we said before, it takes several suns to fill up Sirius A. That's how large Sirius A is. Okay. And Sirius B is a white dwarf, the remnant core of a star that exhausted its nuclear fuel. So in a couple hundred years or whatever, that star may go out. All right, pretty cool. Now, Sirius C. Okay, while Sirius C, A, and B are well documented, some astronomers have proposed the existence of a third companion, Sirius C. Okay, this hypothesis stems from observed anomalies in the orbital patterns of Sirius A and B. So it's something in the telescopes that's making them think there is another star somewhere. Okay, so um, they're suggesting and the culture even says so. This system is more complex than what we would believe. Okay, so despite several investigations, there's a lot of people like to say there's no direct evidence for Sirius C. Okay, now the Sirius star system has intrigued humanity for millennia, partially because of its prominence and visible to Earth. So ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians incorporated Sirius into their cultural and astronomical framework, linking the annual fling of the Nile and its heliacal rising of the star. Um, we'll get into we discussed Sirius A and Kemet last week. Check that video out. So it's a lot, but the thing is, matter of fact, shout out to the people of Ethiopia. Their Ethiopian New Year is in September. Why? Because they see those stars show up in the night sky. Now, however, the Dogon people of Mali, West Africa, have an especially significant and enigmatic connection to Sirius. So it's not just the people along the Nile Valley that's really paying attention to this star system. It is the Dogon people. Okay, and that what arrested my attention. And they're the ones that said there is a Sirius C. They're the ones that saying that, not modern technology, not modern scientists. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but a lot of modern science refer to them. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, supporters Other hypotheses argue that the Dogon's description of Sirius C aligns with speculative models of a dim, unseen object affecting the Sirius binary. So some scientists would say that there's an anomaly out there that's kind of making its rotations kind of off, but the people of Dogon say, yeah, there's something there. There is another star there. Okay. And so, but according to accounts like French anthropologist Marcel Grell, in the 30s, the Dogon people possessed detailed knowledge of Sirius B, a white dwarf, and Sirius A. So it's not that far fetched, y'all. It's not far fetched. Okay, so the Dogon people knew that Sirius was made up of at least two stars before all known scientists. The Dogon people believe Sirius is made up of three stars orbiting each other. Scientists laughed at them. Okay, it has now been highly speculated using math and computer models that the way in which the stars orbit each other would have to be caused by a third star. And this is the comment from his sire Hesire, Hisire 6893. I really appreciate it. Shout out to him. He added value to the conversation. He is saying that there are three stars there, and the Dogon people know so. We got to catch up, right? Now, the Dogon cosmology is both intricate and spiritual, blending mythology and the natural phenomena. Central to their beliefs is the concept of Amma, the creator deity, and rich mythological narrative about the origins of the universe, humanity, and the stars. We told you guys there is a cultural connection between a lot of the people in that area, and a lot of which came from the Nile Valley also. Okay, so there a lot of their stories would kind of intertwine. Okay, so they would they would lean into the fact that there's a cultural continuity and a cultural understanding of the stars and their belief system. Okay, so let's continue. Now, if Sirius C, here's the thing, if it was confirmed, it would basically put Western science in a different, it would shed a different light. It would kind of make them look bad because we have some people without modern technology, without that kind of thing, without aid of telescopes, telling the world that there is a trinity of stars or a three-star system in Sirius, in Canis Minor. So if Sirius C were confirmed, the discovery would hold profound implications, not only for astrophysicists, but also anthropology and cultural history. Scientifically, a third companion in the Sirius system would necessitate a revision of our understanding of stellar evolution and dynamics and multiple star systems. So sometimes we think that one star is by itself. Scientifically, most of the time it is. But to learn about a cluster of stars together, not a nebula, is pretty cool. And of course, to find out that if some Africans found it first, amazing, right? So for the Dogon people, though, for the Dogon people, such a discovery would have cultural and anthropological significance if their traditional cosmology, particularly their description of Sirius C, were validated. It would prompt renewed discussions about the origins of their knowledge. They just can't write them off. They can't just say, going quiet and back. Y'all can't say nothing else, right? We just here for the tour. We just here to watch our dance. Nah, there's some serious science behind it. Okay. So the insights derive from, of course, ancient observational techniques, contact with other civilizations, or perhaps some other unknown source. Because I want to know how did they do it? How did they find out? All right. So, in the realm of astrobiology, the existence of Sirius C will spark new discussions and habitually habit. And can Sirius C? The question would be, can Sirius C is that environment habitable for life? Okay, while Sirius A and B can't host life, okay, because they're so hot, right? But a cooler and dimmer Sirius C would theoretically, according to science, if so, possess a habitable zone. If it hosted planets, these would become prime candidates for searching for new life. And of course, there are some people that would believe, especially in African tradition, would believe that they did come from either Orion or Sirius. Hmm. All right. Now, Sirius in Dogon mythology. Let's go. Okay. Now, the Dogon people have an intricate cosmology that appears to reference the binary nature of the Sirius system. According to their oral traditions passed down through generations, the Dogon believe that Sirius is not a single star, but a part of a complex system with smaller, dense companions, right? Now, Sirius A, as we talked about last week, is called Sigi Tolo. Sigi Tolo. That's what the Dogon people call it. Sigi Tolo. Okay. Um, and Sirius B is called Po Tolo. Okay, smaller star. Tolo means star, smaller star. And then the Dogon would speak of the third star, Sirius C, as Imi Ya Tolo. Imi Ya Tolo. Okay. That associates it with fertility and a feminine aspect of the creation of Sirius C. So there's basically a symbolism of man, woman, child in this star system. Interesting. What do you think? Okay. So Sirius A is called Sigi Tolo, B Po Tolo, and C Imi Ya Tolo. Okay. Now, while modern astronomy, of course, has yet to confirm the existence of a third star system, the inclusion of this detail adds a little mystery to it. Okay. Imi Ya Tolo, Sirius C. Now, the rituals and ceremonies. Of course, you know there's a little something sacred with the science, right? So, the Dogon conduct complex ceremonies, many of which were linked to celestial cycles. One of the most important is the Sigi ceremony, a ritual performed every 60 years. Every 60 years. Whew. 60 years to celebrate the renewal of life and completion of the cosmic cycle. So they've been paying attention to these stars long enough to know that the cosmic cycle is every 60 years. That is two lifetimes. Okay. This ceremony is closely tied to the orbit of Sirius B around Sirius A, which modern astronomers have calculated to be approximately 50 years. This ceremony, this ritual only happens between 50 and 60 years. That is a long time to wait for the next process. When you wait, you got to wait 50 or 60 years to get down. That I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Would you wait 50 or 60 years for the next event or the next ceremony? What do you think? That's a long time. But they knew about it and they've been observing this for eons, for centuries, right? Now the Nommo, the Nommo are amphibious spiritual beings in Dogon mythology. They are considered the first creations of Amma and are described as teachers who brought knowledge to humanity. So they kind of look like the fish people that came from the stars. Okay, so that's pretty different. So some people would say in some science fiction movies, these people may come looking like humans, but these are more amphibious, right? They're closely linked to water and the Sirius system, and they play the central role of the Dogon understanding of the universe and human existence. Hmm. So if the Nommo are amphibious, do you think water is there? Hmm. Well, what do you think? You know? All right. So Brother Mo asked me a question. He said, is it the three wise men? It is the three-star system in Sirius, is that the three wise men? Technically not, okay. Because in let me get back to that. Hold on. Because in most traditions, Orion is seen as the three wise men, according to like some African customs and others. They would use the Orion as the three wise men, right? But Sirius is different. Okay, Sirius is seen different, and Sirius is not the three wise men, and but it is. I was told that Sirius is the duat, or the realm of the ancestors, where the ancestors go according to African tradition. And this was, of course, Brother Thomas. He mentioned this also, but this is the the place, the astral plane. And but what do you think about that? Because we know that the Egyptians mentioned the imperishable stars. We know that in the hieroglyphics there is a star with a circle around it. Okay, so now a lot of people would have believed that Sirius A, B, and C is that world, that ancestral world, according to African custom. Y'all let me know. Now, but how did they know? How did the Dogon know? How did they find out this? Okay. Because the apparent alignment of Dogon mythology with modern scientific discoveries has sparked a lot of conversation, right? So scholars, researchers, and including us, uh, we got a couple of ideas, okay? Cultural transmission. Okay, cultural transmission. Some anthropologists suggest that Dogon may have acquired this information through contact with Western scientists. Man, get out of here. So these people that's been around here observing these stars got that information from Europeans. Okay, okay. All right, that's what they say. That's what they say. All right, what do you think? Second one, indigenous observation. They argue, some people believe that the Dogon might have deducted certain aspects of Sirius from careful night sky observation. That's what I believe. Okay, that's what I think. I think that just by paying attention and watching the stars and getting the understanding, they was able to figure that out. It's so people learn things, and we learn things, and by learning it, we figure it out. We figure out how things move and how things operate, and we go from there. And then, of course, and here's another one: spacemen, extraterrestrial influence. They felt like somebody from outer space came down here and gave them all this information. It's strange to me how the aliens can come to Africa and make all these things, but don't go nowhere else. That's weird to me. You just, these people have been here for thousands of years. They figure stuff out. But of course, Robert Temple in the Serious Mystery, the book claims that Dogon's knowledge was imparted by people from outer space. I don't know about that, but the Dogon people and their beliefs serve as fascinating intersection of myth, science, and spirituality. All right. So, but what do you think? Okay. Now comment below. So I really appreciate it. Now, special topic coming up is Black History Month. We are going to do a couple of topics in Black History Month. If you want me to discuss something um, in Black history, just comment. But also, I will do a live as far as why 21st century Black history is important. It's okay to do 1865 the civil rights movement, but there was a lot of great things that happened the last 25 years. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, now, does Sirius C exist? I think so. How did the Dogon people know? I think it did this by observation and special shout outs. Yes, as promised, here it is. These guys, some of these people have added value to the conversation on YouTube. You guys have been commenting, saying words, and you guys have been subscribing. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But before you hit the subscribe button, know what you're getting into. This is basic African history. All right, but shout out to TJ Turnup. TJ Turnup, shout out to him. Blue Aries, Brian Jefferson, Hisar 6893, Balarama, Vince Moore, Jamie Hayes, Queen Cam, the strong organization, simply soulful, the servant, and of course Thomas Slagovist 5830 and Colonel William Carrington. So special shout out to you guys. You guys have added value to what we're doing, and some of you guys have subscribed like the last month or so. But what's next, of course, after Black History, we got Queens of the South, Ladies of the North and South. We deal with the Kush and Egyptian queens. And the book we're using, The First Female Pharaoh, the link is in the description. And here's some more books: The Message of the Sphinx, Sirius Mystery, the Akon and Other Africans of the Sirius Star System by Kwame Adapa. Let me see what's that. The Science of the Dogon and Pale Fox. All right. Our prayers go out to the family in LA. We're praying with you. We're praying for you. And so this is serious time. So pray for the people in LA and the California area. And you just heard the Sirius Star System, the Dogon Mythology. You just got through listening to King Cam Ujumbe Podcast, and I will talk to you later. Peace.